Let's move on to a different topic. Ben Carson, he's also making a lot of traction. He's feeling good about himself enough that he's coming at you. He is a man of faith. Everybody knows that. It's a cornerstone of his existence and certainly his motivation to run.
Well, I don't know that. I mean, I hadn't heard that. You know, I've known Ben Carson of him for a long time. I never heard faith was a big thing until just recently.
He's a
Seventh-day
Adventist. I mean, it's something he talks about a lot.
Carson's faith. And all of a sudden, he becomes this great religious figure. I don't think he's a great religious figure. And I saw him yesterday quoting something, and he was quoting on humility, and it looked like he had just memorized it about 2 minutes before he made the quote. So, you know, don't tell me about Ben Carson.
Well, but
now,
Ben Carson's coming at you, too.
He's starting to hit me, so I hit back. I only hit back when I get hit. I'm a great counterpuncher.
Let me ask you...
But Ben Carson, you're talking about his faith. Excuse me, Chris.
Please.
Go back and look at his past. Go back and look at his views on abortion and see where he stands. You talk about abortion. I mean, go back and look at his views on abortion. Where now all of a sudden he gets on very low key. I mean, frankly, he makes Bush look like the Energizer Bunny. He's very low key. He's got a lot of donors, a lot of people pushing him. But Ben Carson, you look at his faith, and I think you're not going to find so much. And you look at his views on abortion, which were horrendous. And that's, I think, why I'm leading with all of the evangelicals. As you know in your poll, number one, I'm leading Ben Carson by a lot. You know, you said, oh, Ben Carson's surging. Well, I'm almost double his numbers.
Oh, so, absolutely. But I'm saying he came out of nowhere is all I'm saying. He's not a big celebrity. You know, people didn't know about him. He doesn't get anywhere near the attention that you get.
Chris, I only bring it up because I saw him hitting me yesterday. He's questioning my faith.
Let me ask you something. He definitely is questioning your faith.
A great believer in the Bible.
He's definitely questioning your faith.
Hey, Chris, who is he to question my faith when I am, you know, I mean, he doesn't even know me. I've met him a few times, but I don't know Ben Carson. He was a doctor, perhaps an okay doctor, by the way. You can check that out, too. We're not talking about a great... He was an okay doctor.
I don't know about okay doctor. You know, he was the first man to separate conjoined twins.
Because he's a doctor and he hired one nurse, he's going to end up being the president of the United States. But for him to criticize me on my faith is absolutely... And for him to read from the Bible... In his memory, it looked like he memorized it about 2 minutes before he went on stage.
Do you think you're more a man of faith than he is?
Ben Carson is not going to be your next president. That I can tell you.
You think you're more a man of faith than Ben Carson is?
I would say I can't quote him. I can only say I am a man of faith. I don't know enough about Ben Carson. But if you look at his past, which I've done, he wasn't a big man of faith. All of a sudden, he's become this man of faith, and he was heavy into the world of abortion. And he was a doctor, and take a look at the hospitals where he worked. He was a doctor. Check out the past and see. All of a sudden, he's totally, he's totally anti-abortion. Well, if you look back, you will find he's a very much different Ben Carson. Now, one other thing.
Please.
He shouldn't be questioning my faith. Because, number one, I'm leading with the evangelicals. I'm Protestant. I'm Presbyterian. I have great relationships with the people of Iowa, with New Hampshire, with South Carolina. And he shouldn't be questioning my faith. You know why? Because he knows nothing about me. I met him a couple of times.
All right, so maybe you guys should get together. Let's move on to another topic. You had a there he goes again moment. First it was Rosie, then it was Meghan. Now you got Carly Fiorina. They got you in Rolling Stone magazine, making fun of the way she looks. Why do you talk about how women look so much? You know it's not presidential. It's probably not even kind.
I'm talking about persona. Look, here's another one.
You said look at that face.
Carson and Carly.
You said look at that face.
I'll say some nice things about you at least, so that they'll say at least he says nice things about some people.
I'll take it.
The fact is that Carly Fiorina has had a terrible past. She was fired viciously from Hewlett-Packard. The dean of the Yale Business School, who's a highly respected man, Jeffrey Sonnenfeld, wrote a paper that was one of the worst papers on CEOs. She goes down as one of the worst ever. The company practically cratered.
But then say that.
Excuse me, Chris, wait. Thousands of jobs gone, stock price gone. It still hasn't recovered. It's a total disaster, but still hasn't recovered. They're trying hard, but she was a disaster CEO. She had a company before that called Lucent, which in my opinion and in my memory was even a worse catastrophe than Hewlett-Packard. She then gets fired from Hewlett-Packard. She runs for the Senate against somebody that could have been beaten easily. She loses in a landslide. and now she's running for president. Now, when I said that, and the Rolling Stone article had moments of beauty and greatness, and I did like the pictures, actually. One of the few magazines where I actually liked the pictures. So the photographer was good. The writer actually called me, and he said, I'm so upset. I wrote this great story, and Jan Wenner screwed it up. He told me that. Because they added a lot of stuff, a lot of garish stuff that I think is disgusting.
What I'm saying is this.
Excuse me, wait. So, but Carly... The statement of Carly, I'm talking about her persona. Her persona is not going to be, she is not going to be president.
But I don't know about that.
She had a terrible, terrible failed time.
I don't know about that. I'll tell you why. I hear everything you're saying about the record. They're all legitimate bases for criticism that you can level against one of your opponents, but I'm just reading the quote for what it is. Look at that face. Why would anyone vote for that? Can you imagine that's the face of our next president? I mean, she's a woman. I'm not supposed to say bad things, but really, folks, come on. Are we serious? That's not about persona.
I'm talking persona.
How?
And when she hits me on my hair, I know that's okay, and you won't defend
that's tit
me.
for
Of course,
tat.
my hair is, by the way, I think you know me well enough. It is my hair.
Somebody comes on my air and makes fun of your hair, I'm going to tell them to shut up and move on to something else. If somebody does that to you on my air, and they say the reason he shouldn't be president is because of his hair, look at his hair, I'll say, shut up, let's talk about something else. Because it's unkind and it's unpresidential. You don't have to defend me. I'm not looking for anybody to defend me. I'm just saying, when she and other people hit me on things, nobody ever comes to my defense. So I'm just saying this. You come to your defense.
Carly had a terrible time in business. She destroyed a company. You have to get the report from Jeffrey Sonnenfeld of Yale. He's the expert on Carly. It's a disaster. And check out Lucent beforehand. So you have Ben saying what he said. You have Carly saying, these are two people that will not be president.
All I'm saying is that you are the front runner. You say that you're going to be president of the United States. There is a manner of behavior that goes with that. I'm not saying be Mr. PC. I'm not saying be Captain Gentility and let everybody beat you up. But the idea of returning a blow every time you receive one, you know that doesn't work in any high-level situation.
Well, I'm a believer. Perhaps you're not. Maybe that's why your show isn't doing as well as it should be.
You see,
really
that's not nice.
That's
not nice. That's not nice. You're attacking me for asking you a question. See, that's my point.
Let me just tell you,
that's not what a president does.
When Ben Carson criticizes or questions, he doesn't even know me. You know where I met him? He comes to my club in Palm Beach. Okay? I have a great club, Mar-a-Lago, in Palm Beach. He comes to my club. I hardly know Ben Carson. When he questions my faith, and I'm a believer, big league, in God, in the Bible, and he questions my faith and he doesn't know me, and you say I'm not supposed to hit back? I will hit back.
No, I don't
on that.
say you're not supposed to hit back. I'm saying
evangelicals understand me. First of all, they know I'm going to run the country properly, and I'm not going to let everybody rip us off and take our jobs and take our money. And that's very important to the evangelicals. They are very smart people. And they also know I'm a man of faith. I don't want Ben Carson criticizing my faith. Certainly when he doesn't know me, he can't do that.
I understand that, and that is a legitimate position for you to have. I think the Carly Fiorina situation is something for you to consider a different way, because it seems to keep happening, and I don't get the persona reference. I think it's more about her face, and that's something for you to figure out how you want to put yourself out to the voters.